Before we get into the purely idiotic, I gotta give credit where credit's due. It looks like Manfred is starting to slowly figure out what the fuck he's done wrong, and it's still not quite enough for me to return back to baseball as much as I absolutely love Major League Baseball. I just hate the direction it's going, but they are slightly course correcting. So it looks like, yeah, they're going to be drawing seven inning double headers, limiting shifts, and also getting rid of those stupid fucking retarded extra base runners during extra innings. Okay, that is not baseball. I don't give a fuck. You play to win the game. You don't play one game for 9 innings and then you just put it on easy mode for the fucking 10th. It's so goddamn stupid. And I'm glad somebody fucking brought it up to him. Amid a decline in coronavirus cases across the United States. Thought we were talking about baseball. No? Okay, we're going to be talking about the Coof. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred announced Tuesday that he sees the sports rulebook reverting back to many of its pre-pandemic provisions next season. It probably should, because why is putting an extra runner on second base during the 10th inning something that has anything to do with the Coof? Or why are 7-inning doubleheaders in the rare instance that they would happen? Why is that another one of those Coof provisions? What is the 4 extra innings going to end up doing? Is that going to end up stopping somebody from contracting the shit? Or is it just an excuse for you to fucking play around with something that's been around for just about 200 fucking years at this point? God, man, let you suck. Speaking with reporters ahead of the All-Star game, Manfred called for 7-inning doubleheaders that have been in effect the last 2 seasons, a COVID-related change, and thank God, at least this season. I'm pretty sure it's 162, right? Is that how many games they're playing this year? I think. I would imagine so. The season went off at a regular time, and nothing to my eye. I've been paying slight attention to it, still not watching anything, still not supporting it. But unlike last year's truncated season where they just, for no reason whatsoever, just, oh yeah, National League, yeah, you guys do the whole pitchers hitting thing, right? Oh yeah, pitcher might get hurt or something, so we should just go ahead and put in the designated hitter. Why? Oh yeah, they aren't going to get enough time to practice. Oh yeah, and somebody might get hurt. Fuck off. Fuck off. There was no need for it then. And at least that one didn't make it into the 2021 season. Maybe it's because he's starting to see the ratings and realizing that, yeah, nobody wants to stick around for a mini doubleheader, and the dramatics of extra innings get severely handicapped when you just, well, act like a handicap. We adopted 7-inning doubleheaders for this year. We didn't know the country was going to look like it does now. What the fuck do you mean? We were scared it was going to look very, very different. Scared or hoping? But Manlet didn't stop there, indicating he would be willing to explore new rule changes that limit defensive shifts. Why? Why? These are multimillionaires that just focus exclusively on training their craft and getting better at what they do. Why do you have to take away something, okay? Ebbs and flows, dude. The shift isn't nearly as prevalent as it once was, okay? I'll give you a specific anecdote, and I don't know if I brought this one up before, but back when David Ortiz was playing for the Red Sox, right, during the heyday, during the championship reign and all that stuff, he would get aggressively shifted on because he was a pull hitter, and, you know, the pesky pull was right out there like 35 feet from fucking first base. So we could just easily crank it there. So you'd have the third baseman basically playing in the shortstop hole, and then you have the shortstop out there in shallow right field. So what did Ortiz do? Because he was a professional fucking hitter and he could hone his craft, he just dropped a bunt up the third base line. It wasn't a great bunt, but it was effective because nobody was within fucking 50 feet of that goddamn ball when it got put down. Sucks to suck. There's plenty of ways to fucking beat this stuff, not just taking it out. All you need to do is just beat these little gimmick plays, okay? Why do you think nobody runs the Wildcat in the NFL anymore? Why do you think the game keeps evolving in the NBA? Why do you think it was physical all the way up through the years, and then people started to bitch and moan about, oh, the physicality, and we're just getting beat up out here, and now it's just become a glorified fucking shooting contest, but we'll be talking about them shortly. But let's see Stupid's justification on this one. The last half-decade has seen a spike in the frequency of teams moving infielders around to limit opposing hitters' ability to turn ground balls into hits. Go opposite field, Stupid. Hit it up the middle. Don't just be a fucking dead pull hitter so you can just showcase the bat flip you've been working on. 10 years ago, hitters faced the shift less than 3% to plate appearances. Yeah, and then Joe Madden took over the manager spot in Tampa Bay and changed all this fucking shit. This year, batters are seeing it 58% of the time, even more so for lefties. okay, because most of the fucking power lefties that are out there are dead pull hitters because they don't want to get any better. Oh, just hit it right through the shift. Keep trying, bro. It still hasn't fucking worked. Why do you think Chris Davis is riding the pine? Because he didn't evolve as a fucking hitter. Let's just say you regulated the shift by requiring 2 infields on each side of second base. Why? Teams are too stupid to hit around it. You shouldn't be helping them out. Anyways, what does that do? It makes the game look like what it looked like when I was 12 years old. Bro, you're the one who's putting the fucking DH into the NL. You're the one who's putting in these whatever. It's not change. It's a kind of restoration. You just pick and choose, you fucking hack. It's like with all these new comic book movies, right? Couldn't sound older with that statement, but no. Just take your pick, right? You got the Loki TV show, you got fucking Black Widow hitting, and just, roaring up the charts in the cinema. Oh, you didn't like what was in there? Well, guess what? It was in the comic books. Yeah, you just fucking pick and choose the little things that you want to put in there in order to placate that argument there. It's a type of restoration. You remember back in the old days when there was 2 infielders on each side of second base? It's just like you remember. You know what other aspect of the game I remember? Is when the pitchers, whenever they started to get too good, the hitters would end up catching up to them. And that games didn't end with fucking 9-8 scores on a regular basis, so you didn't have to run out there and start checking pitchers for foreign substances. Yeah, they lowered the mound after Bob Gibson completely fucking destroyed the league in the 60s. But guess who came along right after that? Nolan Ryan. So fuck off with you paying lip service. Stop persecuting your players off the back of accusations and maybe we'll talk. Speaking of really stupid takes, Stephen A. Smith, Shohei Ohtani harming baseball because he doesn't speak English. Well, as a black man, Stephen A. Smith is probably the dumbest motherfucker out there, okay? What does he do other than just run at the mouth in order to get ratings? People want to talk about him because he makes these fucking brain-dead statements. He'd be the same motherfucker who's out here talking about diversity. Oh, we need diversity. Well, guess what? The hottest name in baseball right now, Shohei Ohtani, the two-way pitcher, and DH for the LA Angels, who... I'd love to talk about the failures of the Los Angeles Angels, but that's a tangent for another video. The fact that people are in awe of this dude just clobbering baseballs and then also going out there and fucking spinning a gem on a consistent goddamn basis. Nobody even noticed that he's Japanese, okay? You're the only one because that's your hustle. All you do all the time is talk about race. But it's another one of those opportunities of Asian hate that I hear about so much, and at least this one's an accurate representation. Let's see what he had to say. Shohei Ohtani has 33 home runs and a 3.49 ERA, but Stephen A. Smith believes the Angels' two-way star is detrimental to Major League Baseball. Why? During Monday's episode of ESPN's First Take, the show host, Molly Qerim, asked Smith and Max Kellerman if it's good for Major League Baseball that Ohtani is the top attraction. Why would they ask him the exact same question if we were way back in, 2000 when Ichiro was fucking blowing everything up with his little slap hits, just knocking it over infielders' heads into just the shallow outfield? Was it bad then that people were finally talking about this best team in baseball, the Seattle Mariners? No, but it is now. It is now. Because First Take numbers must be down. In response, Smith answered, "Not to me," reasoning that Ohtani's use of Japanese interpreter diminishes the sport's popularity domestically. Galaxy brain take here. The fact you got a foreign player that doesn't speak English, racist, that needs an interpreter, believe it or not, I think contributes to harming the game to some degree when that's your box office appeal. See, this is the dichotomy of these fucking idiots, right? Diversity. Oh, we're just going to go ahead and applaud Fernando Tatis for not knowing how to fucking play defense, but oh boy does he flip a nice bat. Don't you dare criticize Ronald Acuna in Atlanta for dogging it down the first base line and not running out a grounder. Oh, don't you dare do that. But continue to criticize Tony La Russa, one of the best managers in all of baseball, for being too hard on these fucking precious cocksuckers from the fucking south side of Chicago. And then just outright say, oh yeah, no, we don't like Shohei because he's a fucking import. Hypocritic cocksuckers. It needs to be somebody like Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, those guys. Mike Trout's hurt at this point, and Shohei Ohtani is single-handedly carrying the LA Angels, just like Mike Trout used to do before Ohtani showed up. Unfortunately, at this moment, that's not the case. Yeah, that was a couple days ago. He stuck his foot squarely in his mouth, and then he hopped back on his show and, made up for it because this was all a ratings grab. He is such a phony motherfucker. God, I hate him. ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith has apologized for insensitive and regrettable. There's no other way to put that, okay? Literally, he called him out for being Japanese. There's no pretext to it. There was nothing else. I don't like him because he's Japanese. I wish I could make this a little bit more charitable of an interpretation, but his entire description of it, I don't think he's popular because he's Japanese and he needs an interpreter. Bro, self-awareness of fucking zero. Apologize for his insensitive and regrettable comments he made about Japanese superstar baseball pitcher Shohei Ohtani. The apology came hours after Smith pointed out the Ohtani's use of a translator so you could understand what the hell he's saying. Oh, New York Post didn't include that? Man, normally they're fairly sensationalized. That is some stupid take. Nuclear fucking mess. After receiving backlash from many online, not just online. But that's the only way that you could reach him, because I imagine he's probably quite a recluse anyways. Said he screwed up in a Twitter post directed to the Asian community and Ohtani. You don't need to apologize to the Asian community, just to Ohtani. Stop trying to virtue signal. As an African American, see why he went after him being Japanese? You can see. This is a statement. How does he lead it off? As a black man, keenly aware of the damage of stereotyping has done to many in this country, then why did you do it? It should have elevated my sensitivities even more, but it didn't. It didn't, because it would pop a rating, it would get your name back out there, and at your heart, you're a racist. Sucks to suck. Based on my words, I failed in that regard, and it's on me, and me alone. Make it all about you when you should just say your piece to Shohei and fucking move on. Or say it to his translator, which is such a detriment. Fucking dick. In this day and age, with all the violence being perpetrated against the Asian community by your community, my comments, albeit unintentional. How were they? You went on a fucking rant, dude. God, you're stupid. We're clearly insensitive and regrettable. Smith continued his apology on Tuesday during his ESPN show, I Don't Care. On many occasions, what I've said when people have said something that is offensive in any way to the minority community, it's not about how you feel, bro. Oh my god. Do you need a shovel down there, or do you need a backhoe to continue digging that hole? It's about how they feel. The reality of the situation is that you have Asians and Asian Americans out there that obviously were very, very offended by what I had to say yesterday. Dude, I don't have a lick of Asian heritage, and I'm not saying I'm offended. Perhaps I'm a little offended that you have a fucking national television spot where you're allowed to spit your racist rhetoric all the time, but to try to just pass us off as, oh yeah, some people in the Asian community. You can't see it, we don't have the clip or anything, but he also did the pull back the side of your eyes thing when he said that, so... Or just simply offended for not understanding the nuance of my argument. God, you're just a condescending dick. I just want to look into the camera and extend my sincere apologies. You know how you do that classily? You know how you do that if you were actually sorry instead of just going on the biggest megaphone that you have access to? You do it tastefully to the affected party, not to your collectivist perception of the world. Where if you make a comment about a black man, you have to address the entire black community. Most Asians and Asian American communities don't know who you are and don't care about your apology because they don't use Translator. But yeah, this video's been long enough. I was going to touch on the failures of the NBA's men's basketball team, so we're going to have to save that for another video because, yeah, this Stephen A. Smith had some nuclear bad takes, and Rob Manfred is just a special assortment of stupid ideas. So yeah, all you need to know, just a little short of it, and just give you a little bit of insight what we were going to be talking about. Men's Olympic basketball is failing at such a high level that a whole bunch of Nigerians and Australians are kicking their ass up and down the court, and they'll probably end up losing to Argentina here later today, so it could be just as important to be covering them tomorrow. So we might do that. And with that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.